Hi, I'm Arden Kaywin, voice teacher and vocal producer, and today I want to talk to you about sensory awareness. So one of the most fundamental things that I teach singers is a present moment sensory awareness of their body. What does the good sound feel like? How did your body feel when you made that sound? What was your body doing when you made that good sound? Can you describe it back to me? Can you tell me how you created it? Can you feel it to tell yourself how to recreate it? Because that's the kicker for most singers, inconsistency. And inconsistency comes from a lack of sensory awareness to even know what the good sound feels like, what you're doing in your body when you make it so you can recreate it time and again. In today's video, I'm working with Kay, a singer who has come a long way in her understanding of breathing and support for singing, and now the ways in which her support abandoned her are a lot more subtle and harder for her to feel. So in order for her to take her singing to the next level, we've got to get her back into the present moment sensory awareness of her breathing and her support so she can really feel what's going on to make the shifts that are then going to help her break through to that next level. So in this video, I'm going to let you be a fly on the wall in our lesson so I can show you how I helped her get back there. I want to share my process with you so you can understand one example of what it's like to work with awareness, mind, body, and sound when we focus on the sensation of the good singing, not the sound of the good singing. First, I mix things up by having her lie down on the floor to do the exercises. I love getting singers on the floor, especially to feel breath and support, because it's a lot easier to feel it when you're on the floor. Since gravity is working differently, you have to be really deliberate about what you're doing to make your support work in this position, so you really notice what's going on a lot more readily. Finding your sensory awareness on the floor means being present to where the parts of your body and your back that are kind of able to give themselves to the floor, parts that maybe don't want to, not to judge, just to notice. And then just allow some exhales, and on the exhale, just let yourself kind of melt towards the floor. And as you exhale, not to force it, but just to allow the air and allow the belly to sink down and to feel the floor coming up to meet your body, and your body coming down to meet the floor. I initially want Kay to just find her body on the floor and bring her awareness to its sensations. And feeling how gravity, just a reminder of what gravity feels like this way. Because most of the time when we sing, obviously, we're standing. And feeling the support with a different sensation of gravity is, can be really helpful, as you know, because we've done this. So finding a hiss on an exhale, on a hiss, towards your knees. Send your support towards your knees and don't let it sink back down towards the floor. Yeah. Now bring your awareness to your ribs and see, just, noticing. I don't want you to force them to do anything. Do the hiss again and be present to your ribs as you send your support towards your knees. Feeling there, yeah, that's it. Yeah, what did that feel like?
Like I was holding a space.
Yes, but that is what,
not grabbing, but
right.
Like it was.
But that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
That is what breath support basically is to hold the shape of the space, because when we compromise it, we push too much air. Okay, so you've got on the one hand this shape going this way, and the other hand you've got this shape going this way. So you've got this dynamic expansion. Nothing is collapsing inward. Things are just kind of containing you outward. So can we do the on-off hisses?
Yeah.
So what's the image that to you sort of makes the most sense, that you latch onto the most for this feeling?
Just like a balloon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you do the hisses, I want you to just feel yourself sitting into this balloon feeling, okay? Okay, so 1, 2, ready, and so you feel how early you breathe, you were just like holding your breath. Right, but that's part of it too,
Yeah.
So finding it, the inhale that's more organic to when your body needs it. Ready, and expand your balloon, keep expanding on the longer hiss. Now let the balloon go. Now sit into it. okay, pause. Let's do it one more time, and I want you to bring your attention. You're still gonna do your balloon thing, but I want you to bring your awareness to what, if anything, you feel in your neck as you're doing it. Okay, ready, and anything?
I feel like I'm like grabbed.
Yeah.
Like locked up.
Yeah, it's like, ah, right? Okay. As you watch, you'll notice that I ask her a lot, how does that feel? Because I want her to start to check in and really notice those sensations. So having to describe it back to me requires her to be present to those sensations in the first place. So part of it is what's being set up on the breath, where you're releasing this part of the body into the breath, but you're not releasing the muscles around the throat to begin with, and I don't see you releasing jaw either. So let's set this up from a giant open channel release.
Okay.
Right? Ready, and right, open your throat. There! Uh-huh. Right. Yeah.
Now I feel like I have too much breath.
Well, now you were being very cautious about you
Yeah.
actually using it before because you weren't getting very much.
Yeah.
Now you're getting some, so you can actually have more integrity of a hiss.
Yeah.
Difference being s and s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So try. Ready? Oh. Yes, but I'm watching this
I
go
know, it went
towards
down.
the floor.
Yeah.
This way. Right? Because if you stood up, that's what was happening when you were standing up. This was going, right? She couldn't feel that before when she was standing up. But now that she's on the floor, it's really obvious to her how her support is letting up because she's finally present to the sensation. Okay, so let's do it again. Ready, and gentle. There you go. It's not a harsh push. It's just a direction. It's okay. All breath. There. Yes. Okay. How does that feel different?
I think everything felt more connected.
Yeah.
I think actually what I realized is I had to think more about the in-between than the actual hissing.
The in-between, you mean
When I'm taking the breath.
the breath.
That was the moment like I needed to be more present.
Yeah.
Of like not losing my shape, but also like not grabbing.
Yeah. Of it just kind of opening.
Yeah.
This is a really important realization for Kay. She noticed that she wasn't releasing on the inhale, which is a huge important thing to do when you inhale. You gotta release to let the air in. But even more, to me, the biggest awareness that she got from this was she realized that she wasn't even present for the inhale. That her awareness was going straight to what was happening on the hiss. It was like, that's the important thing, the hiss. The breath wasn't even in her awareness. So once she realized not to skip over the breath in terms of being present for that as well as the hiss, things tend to get more consistent. So now that Kay has a more consistent idea of what she's doing for her support and her breathing, we're gonna bring this to a vibration. And what I mean by that is making some sound. So we're gonna do it now on a lip trill. Okay, so let's bring a lip trill to it. Breath. You feel how much now that you're making sound, this is going down, okay? This is so common that once we add a vibration, all of that beautiful support that we found on the hiss goes right out the window. It's like adding sound to put her right back into old habit. But we need to create a new habit. So I need to bring her back to getting present to the sensations of what she feels when she's doing the lip trill and how that feels different from what she did when she did the hiss. Because she has a sensory memory now of what the hiss felt like. We spent a lot of time getting into that. So if she brings her awareness back to how the feeling is different, then she understands where it's going wrong and where it's getting derailed. And she can now do the lip trill with the same sensation that she did on the hiss because she's present to that feeling. So again, I don't want you to squeeze and push it.
Yeah.
I want you just to directionally send yourself that way, which means be present to it, because if you're not, it's gonna go that way. Okay. Ready? Yes. Ah, breath. Good. Good. Yeah. How does it feel?
That felt very stable.
Very stable. Okay, so now let's move pitch on the lip trill. Oh, you feel how much this wants to on the way up, okay? Every little addition of something to the exercise that feels more and more like singing, in this case, now we have a pitch change, so that feels a little more like singing than just a hiss or a single note lip trill. When it feels more like singing to her, she goes back to her old singing habit, which is to abandon her support, okay? So I've got to bring her back to her sensory awareness again so she can notice this. That's what we do every time. I'm bringing her back again. So all you're gonna do is reconnect with that balloon that you were talking about before. What do you notice?
It was like,
right.
I feel like I grabbed when I was going up. Almost.
Yes. Do you know why? So it was an opposite reaction to the usual habit.
Yeah.
The usual habit
It's
being
letting it
right.
go.
Well, but what happens when you let it go is you blow so much air through it. Right? I mean, you can see.
Yeah.
So you knew that you didn't want to do that. So instead of ballooning, you grabbed. Okay. So let's do it again.
Okay.
Don't worry about making it beautiful. Okay. There's a little flat. Get all the way up there, which means get all the way down there.
Okay.
No. Breath. That was. Okay. Can we do that again?
Sure.
Just let the breath come in. Okay, so there's one part of the body that doesn't want to cooperate. Are you present to what it is?
I think it might be my ribs, but I'm not sure.
I think this is all cooperating pretty well. I'm noticing
something here.
Up here. Yeah. So if I were lying flat,
Okay.
That kind of thing. Okay. So visualizing this giant open channel, we don't want to compromise it. You know.
Okay.
One more time.
I feel it now.
What do you feel?
My head wants to
it wants to help. Okay,
Yeah.
but instead of telling your head, don't move, right?
Yeah.
Because then all it's wants to do
Then
is
I'll walk
grab, right?
Mhm.
So instead, can you visualize a constant flow of energy that starts here and it travels down the body through that spine, through all this way. If you're locking or moving, it's gonna get stuck. It's not gonna be able to travel.
Okay.
So the space between the vertebrae, I want you to visualize the idea of moving vibration of sound in and out, weaving it through the spaces of the vertebrae. You have to have space in order to do that. So
Yeah.
try it. Try that image. Good. Okay, I still see your neck engaging. Do you feel it or
Yeah.
not? You do?
Mhm.
Okay. Kay is getting much more present to the sensations in her body of how it's been compensating in small ways up till now, trying to support her sound in the absence of a more consistent lower support that we want her to feel. It's like she's been using her neck to literally support her sound, and she can really feel how it engages now to do that. So I'm just gonna be here just for a little. I'm gonna hold your head, so give me the weight of your head.
Okay.
Start a little lower. Good. So I've got your head. You don't have to worry about your head now. You can just completely concentrate on the flow of support down and out through your knees, okay? What did you feel under your hands?
I feel like it went away.
Yes, it did. It started, it went away. So you started, I hope you can see this on the video because we are in profile, which is that we started with support. And then before you went and raised pitch, it diminished. So it was like, and then it came back. Right? So those first few semitones of the rise in pitch, that we've talked about that. It started from here. It started from this going that way, not from this abandoning, okay?
Okay.
So let's do it again. You did a good job of giving me your head. I didn't feel...
I did think about it a lot.
Yeah, I didn't feel, but see, now you don't have to think about it. I got it.
Okay.
I'm doing this. I got you. Not being able to engage her neck because I'm holding it allows her to bring her awareness to the lower part of her body and really focus on what those sensations of support are. When she's engaging her neck, she can't feel those sensations because they're not there, because her neck is doing it. And the lower muscles of support are like, fine, peace out, I'll take a vacation. Neck is doing it, great. So I'm disabling her neck so that the lower part of her body can engage and she can really feel and focus on what those sensations are so she can learn to trust them. Because when she trusts them, she'll be able to let go of her neck on her own and not need to use that to support her sound. So bring your awareness to those first few semitones as you rise. Feel your hands. Move them a little bit higher. Move them no, higher. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna move you. Okay. Do it again. Good. Now head voice a little higher. Yeah. What do you notice?
I think it felt more solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, so let's get up.
Okay.
And I want you to see if you can feel it now. We spent all that time on the floor so that Kay could gain a sensory awareness of what her support and breath felt like so that she could bring it to standing. Because we don't want y'all to sing on the floor all the time, right? It doesn't help you if that's the only place you can do it. So now we bring her to standing. And first I want to remind her of what the sensations felt like on the floor so she can recreate it now that she's upright. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Feel yourself on the floor. Feel what it felt like to have the floor supporting your spine. Feel the length. Feel the sensation, length. And then bring that to lip trill as you direct your energy and open up onto the breath. Good. Now be present to those first few semitones. It's the same way you did on the floor. There's a direction to that.
I feel myself like almost skipping over them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You start,
Okay.
you back up, and then you go.
Yeah, I feel it.
And this moment, the fact that she can now feel this is why we did that whole progression on the floor in the first place. Because she wasn't feeling it before. And it's really hard to change a sensation that you don't feel. Good, so now I want you to do everything you're doing, but I want you to find a flow.
Okay.
I want you to move through it. You're a string player, one bow. Right now it's two.
Yeah.
Up is
Okay.
different than down. It's one
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Because remember what you felt on the floor directionally. It was one thing.
Yeah, I
throughout
felt more
the whole-
connected.
Yeah.
Like one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Sing out the mouth and the back of your neck. Remember that open feeling back there? Good. Good. Okay. The ease and flow that Kay is consistently able to find is what we're after. It's the whole point of why we did this whole progression from the hisses to the lip trills up to standing. It was so we could get her back into the present moment sensory awareness of her body so that she could make her body work efficiently for her for singing. I hope that being a fly on the wall for this was really instructive to you, that you learned something that you could use for your own technique work. I have so many other resources for singers. Join me every last Thursday of the month on Facebook Live, where you can ask questions and we can get into the nitty-gritty of technique stuff in the moment to connect with each other. On YouTube, I have a ton of content that you can flip through and get more tips and tools. And of course, on my website, ardenkaywinvocalstudio.com. Go check it out. And while you're there,
Be sure to sign up for email updates to become a member of my virtual voice studio. You'll get instant access to a powerful video training called Be a More Consistent Singer, and you'll get first dibs on singing workshops and masterclasses, as well as access to studio member-only tips, tools, and insights I don't share anywhere else.
If you know other singers who you think could benefit from these ideas, please share this video with them. Help me to create a compassionate rather than competitive community of singers, sharing tools and tips and ideas and supporting each other towards our best singing. I'm Arden Kaywin.